You all right?
Dude, I'm worn out.
From carrying the pug down?
He's a ginormous pug.
Because he's fat.
Welcome back to Talking Story. My name is John Minton. That is the boy wonder to my booktube Batman, my literary wingman.
I'll take it. Pug hater, Jakob Minton.
Oh, come on. We just had Mr. Pooh up here. You can't be a pug hater.
I can be. He did.
We just
very
had
little.
Mr. Pooh. He did well. He kind of slept through his job.
Yeah.
He was up here to be the entire august Mr. Pooh, overseeing all things fair. No shenanigans, because we just found out what our Patreon read of September is going to be.
Absolutely, but more on that later.
You know what? Before that, I gotta say this, because this warms my heart. This absolutely warms my heart.
What?
We gotta show this.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely we do.
Listen, we got some. Remember. We got some dragons adopted, going to some really good homes. Check out, we got a couple photos to drop here. The boy wonder is going to show the magic. Look at this. We got some dragons adopted, been named, going to some great homes to guard some books out there. Look at, and one's even a different color. So if you want to kind of talk to the mad scientist at INKSPIRATION Station, maybe they could work something up for a color idea you have. I'm not making any promises, but different color eyes and things like that they can do, but maybe they could do an entirely new. I think there's still hatchlings available. If you want to hit up INKSPIRATION Station and adopt a dragon for yourself, we'll have the link down there again, Jacob.
We will indeed.
Okay, and don't forget to drop in Talking Story, all caps, no spaces when you're checking out, and you will get free shipping.
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that warms my heart.
Just quickly, more specifically, you will get free shipping on any order that is, I believe, over $40.
Over $40.
So if you look at anything else on the INKSPIRATION Station page that you wanted, you can still use that code as long as your order is over $40.
Sure. But the Dragon Head, I think, it gets up there. It gets over 40, I think. It's not a lot over 40, but it gets over there.
Yeah.
So, man, I don't want to waste any more time. Should we?
I guess just rip the Band-Aid off.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off.
Bring in the sleepy pug.
Let's bring in the sleepy pug, because Jacob, we had to do this in the evening.
We did.
This is Saturday evening, late Saturday evening, and that was one sleepy pug that oversaw our Patreon pick. So let's let that roll.
He's not even looking at the camera.
You know what? Hey.
You're bonking him on the table. Oh, is he tired?
He's worn out.
That's a sleepy pug.
Can you hear him?
No, I'm sure the microphone on your end can, but I can't hear him.
Okay, well, he's here to make sure everything is upfront and fair.
Okay.
So here's what happened. We did voting a little bit differently this month, right?
We did.
We went through so many brackets, and we got down to the final 8, and then we voted and we got down to the final 4. So we got 4 lonely balls here. So everyone got more chances to vote, more votes to get it all the way down, right, to the final 4.
Yep.
So what came in first place between the 2 brackets? First place was Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams versus Malice by John Gwynn. Dragonbone Chair barely eked it out. So the number 1 ball in here for first place corresponds to Dragonbone Chair. Number 2 versus number 2, we had Grace of Kings by Kin Liu up against The Failures by Benjamin Lyer. Grace of Kings blew that one out of the water. Grace of Kings came out pretty high head. So the number 2 ball in here corresponds. Number 2, Grace of Kings by Kin Liu. Number 3, third place versus third place from the 2 brackets, Justice of Kings by Richard Swan versus The Olympian Affair by Jim Butcher. This was pretty close, but Justice of Kings edged out at the end. Not edged out, it was decisive, definitely decisive. So number 3 ball in here would be a winner for Richard Swan, Justice of Kings. And then the 4th place versus 4th place between the 2 brackets was Harold God Eater, which is Rob J. Hayes, versus Gods of the Weirdwood by think that's R.J. Barker. I didn't write it down. I'm pretty sure that's it, though, right?
I believe I'll double check right now, but I believe so.
Double check, because I want to make let's make sure we get it the right thing up there. I can tell you it won Gods of the Weirdwood by R.J. Barker, if I'm correct.
It is indeed by R.J. Barker.
Won the head-to-head 4th place. So here's what's going to happen. I don't think we have our august judge of all things honorable and fair. Okay, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. Okay, all right. So what's going to fall? What's going to fall? Here we go. Let's run back the other way.
Oh, God.
We got it. We got it. What do we got, Mr. Pooh? Let me see. Let's take a look here. It is number 3.
That would be Justice of Kings.
Justice of Kings by Richard Swan is the winner. So that will be our Patreon read for September. So our TBR for September is completely finished. What do you think of that?
Put that poor dog to bed.
All right, man. Bang. I'm
Justice
excited.
of King. You're excited?
I'm excited. I have all 3 of these. I've been dying to get into this trilogy. I hear cosmic horror.
Oh, that's your special sauce.
That's my that's not only special sauce. I order an extra cup to dip
Yeah.
when it's got that.
Well, don't
That's
dip
what
your book in sauce. That's not good for you.
That's how much I love that. So yeah, I'm pumped, man. I'm excited this one. There was, when you got down to those like 8 or 4, like there was no losing.
Yeah, absolutely.
was-
Let us know in the comments if you're a patron. Did you like this voting style better? We kind of mixed it up and did something different this month. That
I'll tell you,
think...
they can let us know on Patreon. They don't have to let us know.
Well, do that,
Yeah.
but let us know.
They'll let us know. So wow, thanks everyone that voted, and I cannot wait to get into that and let everyone know my thoughts on that. That'll go into the September stack. Bang. So it's that all important question. What have you read this week?
You know what?
What have you read? You're about to disappoint everybody, aren't you?
Big fat goose egg, man. I read nothing.
Like 0 pages.
I think so. And unless I'm remembering incorrectly, I maybe did a chapter this week. But no, whatever I said in the last video, whenever that last video was that I said I read, that was the last time I read.
We do these every Sunday, so that would be...
No, but I can't remember if it was brought up in like a TBR or something this past week.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Anyway, I did not read.
Yeah. Wow. That's disappointing.
I know.
That's got short chapters, too. You get one in tonight. You have nothing else going. You have no excuses.
It's getting late.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, look, I can feel like I gotta pull up Maverick. I gotta pull this thing up.
What did you read? I see that big monstrosity over there.
I finished, and look, I have this page marked because I gotta read a little bit of something. Look, I finished Demon in White. This is a lot of people's favorite book of the Sun Eater Saga, and I can absolutely see why. Wow. What did I just say my special sauce is?
Cosmic horror.
No spoilers, guys, but oh boy, does he get into it. By book 3, oh yeah. Oh, I am all in this series now. If I was before. I think Christopher Rocchio is an amazing artist on an amazing journey, starting as a very young man. He is kind of at his voice is entirely confident by this book. This book is it pulls the trick of being so many books in one. In the beginning, it starts off in this no-holds-barred, adrenaline-fueled action fest of the half-mortal Hadrian Marlowe going up against this bioengineered Cielson monstrosity. So you kind of... You know what I love about Christopher Rocchio is he is so one of us. Each part of this book, I could kind of feel like, oh man, you grew up watching the movies I watch. You have the same touchstones I have. You love the secret sauce I love. And you've written this just for us. And it starts off with, it's got a little bit of that James Cameron Aliens feel to it. It's that kind of pulse-pounding action. Then it's going to downshift for a good chunk of the book into some political court intrigue as the half mortal goes back to where the empire, where the seat of the empire is, and meet the emperor and get into the aristocracy and see how he fits in or doesn't fit in. See what's going on in the court. It becomes very much like a Game of Thrones almost type of feel for a good chunk of this. And then he's going to continue by wrapping this up by having just mysteries are answered. The curtain is pulled back. Not only is the curtain pulled back, but you're able to walk on stage and look up into the fly system and see where the Greeks used to lower down the Deus Ex Machina. You're able to see all around where this drama's been playing out. All around it, you get to see what's been hiding behind the curtain. He starts to reveal these things, and it's just so exciting. And then at the end, you have it's like this siege warfare. He does an amazing job of, when your heroes get into a situation, it's like, I don't think they're all making it out. Like, there's going to be a toll to pay, man. Like, I just don't see how this works out. It's that kind of fear for some of your favorite characters by the end. So it's like this book just unrolls in stages, and all along you have the prose of Christopher Rocchio just dropping in like he's such an amazing the student of the classics. So he's dropping in all of these things through the lens of what story, all the way back from the Greeks to now, and even before that, what story we're pulling from as a people and how it reflects in what's going on in the space opera, as well as philosophy. And look, let me show you a little bit about what I mean. Let me just drop some Rocchio on you, okay?
Go for it. Please do.
All right. I dig this stuff when I come across stuff like this. I know better now. The universe has no center, they say, and yet the universe is infinite. Is not then every point the center of the universe, surrounded on all sides by infinite space? Copernicus was as wrong as he was right. The earth of old was as much the center of the universe as the sun she circled. So too were Mars and Jupiter beyond. It makes you stop and think, where are we? Where do we fit in this universe? Where does our story's humanity fit in? This amazing character that is being moved around somewhat in this huge operatic story of human survival or not, this melodramatic character, and how could he not be melodramatic? Because he is the chosen one. I mean, how can he not be somewhat grand in his storytelling? He is the chosen one that's going to stand between us and extinction, it would appear. So where do we as humans fit in our own view of our story and in the universe? Just philosophical little nuggets that he drops like that, as well as stories that go all the way back and how it's reflected with us. This is such an amazing series. I had a great time with this. No way this is not up for Book of the Month for the month of August.
I thought it would be.
Yeah.
Although I will ask, did you enjoy it more than Howling Dark?
Ooh, okay. Here's the thing. Yes.
Okay.
I thought I was leaning towards Howling Dark. I really did. But then as this started to roll forward and become just like these different flavors lined up in front, just about the time you thought you had your footing and you understood where this book was and what it was doing and where it was going, he would jerk the tablecloth out from under and bring you all new flavors of a totally different type. And it just kept morphing and changing as the story moved on. It kind of went from a James Cameron Aliens feel to like a George R.R. Martin book, and then it went back to like a HPL, like a Lovecraftian, look behind the curtain if you dare, because you might have to go completely insane. And then at the end, it ended up on this this brutal frontline, all out siege war. It was so many amazing flavors, all of them done so well. I cannot wait to continue in this series.
Morphing and changing so much, you might have to talk to Rocchio again on the channel, one might think.
You know what? I would like nothing better. I have a lot of questions.
I bet you do.
I got a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions. So after that, look, I had a little bit of time. for the month of August. And Harper Voyager was so kind to send me a copy of Raymond E. Feist's new book, A Darkness Returns, book 1 of the Dragon War saga. I was so excited to get into this because I was a huge fan of the Rift War saga back in the day. Like way back when it first started coming out, I would run to the B. Daltons or the Walden Books in the mall there where I was living to grab that new copy. Pug and Toman and all the characters early on. I read all the way up to A Darkness at Sethanon. I think I read a little bit past that. And this takes all of his books in the Rift War saga and his last series, the Firemane saga, of which I believe was a trilogy, and it starts to create this umbrella of a multiverse and starts to bring everything together. And you know, multiverse is nothing new for Raymond E. Feist if you started with the Rift War saga, because it is a rift and a portal in from one world to another world, from one universe to another universe, and the war that happens between that rift. So, you know, this is nothing new for him, but it's expansive and it's larger, and he's starting to, I think for his, he's seeing this as his final act, and he's trying to bring all of his characters onto the stage for one final huge chorus line goodbye. And I had not read Firemane saga, and I don't think it's really fair for me to critique this, because as I was reading this, as these characters come onto the stage, as the references happen, there's a shorthand that I think I needed. I think I needed those 3 books, that trilogy, to know the depth of these characters. Hava and Hatu and Declan and Dante, these characters that I really started to feel for. But as I first started to get involved with their journey, I wasn't very attached to them. The book started to read very much like a Breathless, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and I didn't feel a connection to some of these characters because I didn't have the shorthand of their adventure from the trilogy of the Firemane saga. Now, I know I probably should have, and it might have worked very differently, because I did have that reference of the beginning of the Rift War saga, Magician and Magician Master, and Silverthorn and Darkness and Sethanon, all those books. And when our characters from that show up, Magnus, Pug, I mean, when these people walk on the stage, it's like I got an excitement in me, like I was the live studio audience watching a taping of Happy Days and the Fonz just walked on. So I did have that shorthand and I did have that excitement, but for so many of the characters, I didn't, because I had not read that first trilogy that this is bringing an umbrella over everything. So I had a little bit of a hard time connecting, had a little bit of a hard time with pace, because it didn't seem like the action really came together and ramped up for me. It just seemed like, and it was enormously interesting, but it seemed like some of the most interesting parts for me is when Raymond E. Feist was working on the cosmology of how all this multiverse works, how it comes together, how the magic is bringing them together, what this big bad is going to be that's been chasing them through 30 books at this point, maybe somewhere near that area. And when he started to put all those pieces together and link those breadcrumbs, I found that to be exciting and interesting. I loved the old characters that I got to see again from the old Rift War saga. Overall, it didn't wow me the way I was hoping it would. What I will say is I probably definitely will read the second book. And maybe by the second book, I can read that Firemane saga before, so I think I can get exactly what Raymond E. Feist is working on here. And I think I was kind of at a disadvantage because of that.
I'm sure there's not an estimation of when that second book is coming out yet, right?
That I don't know. But sure. I mean, I am going to try and get to the Firemane saga before I pick up book 2. Right, but I mean, I would say it's good enough for me to pick up book 2, and I would say it's good enough for me to want to go back and reread Rift War, and I definitely want to read the Firemane saga before I pick up book 2. Was it? I mean, you know, coming up right after this, you know, that's a high bar.
Sure,
that's a high bar because I've been, you know, in Hadrian Marlowe's back pocket for these books now taking steps to where this goes, and I feel like I was missing a lot of steps with this.
Could be your fault.
Yeah, I'm saying it's my fault. I'm definitely saying it's my fault.
Fair enough then.
So that's what am I going to read next? What's coming up next? It is going to be September. I'm starting September. It is a Quilluminati month. All the members of the Quilluminati, myself, Dr. Philip Chase from the Best of Fantasy, Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, Brian Bell from BellTube. We get together once a quarter and we read a book together and then we talk about it. And I think it's coming up pretty quickly on Dr. Chase's channel, like the second week of this month. We're going to be talking about William Kent Kruger's Ordinary Grace. I saw today Mike has already started this. I know we're all starting it right around the 1st. So I will be picking this up, if not tonight, tomorrow.
Is everyone else enjoying it so far?
It certainly sounds like it. Everyone that checks in with me says I'm gonna love this.
Great. All right then.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to start it. So I will be starting that. And then, this isn't crazy. That isn't crazy long. So I should finish it before we're back here for Weekly Reader again next Sunday. So what's coming up after that? It's.
You all right? Oh, wow. Okay. Yep. That's why. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's this chonker right here. Back on our buddy read of the Bound and the Broken series by Ryan Cahill. I am up to Of War and Ruin. I believe that's maybe a little over 1,000 pages.
Dear God.
He has a lot to say.
Apparently.
Yeah, these characters have a lot to say. So I will be starting that next. I will definitely still be working on this by next Sunday. And this is a buddy read going on with me, Dr. Philip Chase, again from the Best of Fantasy, Mike from Mike's Book Reviews, because he spurred so many of us to read this series, and Christopher Navo from Next Chapter. So we will be getting together. We're going to give everybody a good chance to get through that. So we're going to get together about our discussion on this. I'm going to guess probably beginning of October, somewhere in there.
Sweet.
But I do think we get together this month to talk about the novella that came before this, The Exile. I think that will be over on Chris's channel coming up.
Which you have already read, right?
That I've read.
Okay, yep.
That I read. That made me, I read it, I bought the t-shirt, I joined the Dane fan club, the whole nine.
Wow, is that good?
Yeah. Oh, I'm all in on my guy Dane. Yeah,
all right.
Absolutely. So I pull a hammy while I lift that up there. Okay. So there is the reading that I have done, and that is coming up pretty quickly. What else? What did we do on the channel last week? Do you remember?
Nope.
Bonus points for you.
I got no idea, dude.
It's like, you're not, you just show up.
Yeah, I do. That's exactly
you just
what
show
I do.
up. It doesn't really seem fair. Okay. This is what we did last week. Remember we set up our September TBR?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was minus our Patreon read. And now we do know it, thanks to our patrons and Mr. P. And let's thank all those people right about now.
They are wonderful.
These are all these fine humans that voted on the Patreon read all last month. And they help us make decisions. They help us keep the lights on. They help us do so much around here, all the way up to taking over our channel and getting their content on this channel. And if that interests you, if you want to check that out at all, down in the description box is the Patreon link, and you can find out all about it. And I wanted to say that here because the other thing we did this past week was Town Square.
Oh man, how did I forget that?
How did you forget that? When they actually take over our channel, we get to see what the community's doing. And oh gosh, there was some all-timers.
Yeah.
In this batch.
There were things that maybe changed my life forever.
Yeah, there are some funny people sending stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some incredibly wholesome people as well.
And, and just people that have started their own channel.
Yeah.
It is amazing. So it's just, look, Town Square is the funnest thing we do, I think. I love it. Month after month, it only gets better. And we had a great time with that last week. So this coming week, I bet you can guess what we're going to do.
Nope.
You need a little Red Bull over there?
I'm tired, man. We're shooting at night. I'm not used to it.
You need like a Snicker bar, like a little fun size, little pick-me-ups?
Do you have one for me?
Well, hey, you moved out. No matter what I have, I give you some Fig Newtons.
I'll see you tomorrow. You can bring it to me.
I could. I got to bring some stuff to you anyway.
I'm sure you're doing a book haul.
See?
Yeah.
And what else? What else?
Everything you read in the month.
It's like you read my mind. This coming week on Tuesday, we're going to wrap up the month of August. We're going to go over everything that I read in the month of August. It's a stack, man.
I bet it is.
I was looking at it. I impressed myself.
You should. You should every month. You read a lot of stuff.
I was like, but that is a lot. And it's look, I'm gonna tell you right now. It's gonna be a knockdown drag out.
You say this every month.
Yeah, but this time it is Robin Hobb and Christopher Rocchio. And I gotta throw my friend Tori Tekken in there, whose book was amazing.
Yeah.
Bloodstones. It's like I mean, there are an amazing indie author's first foray into epic fantasy, and two heavyweights, the queen of fantasy, Robin Hobb, and Christopher Rocchio, who is doing this sci-fi fantasy cosmic horror. Oh my God, it is everything I love wrapped up into one delicious series.
I'm
gonna need help.
You just gotta put a tie on, man.
If your safety is at risk, ask for emergency services or someone you trust.
See that? Siri thinks my safety's at risk.
Your safety is at risk.
That's how bad it's getting. That's how bad it's gonna be. I might make you choose.
What am I gonna do? I haven't read any.
But you're gonna earn your keep here finally. That's what you're gonna do.
Editing the videos isn't enough.
There would be no channel without you, Boy Wonder. You know that. All right. I guess that's pretty much it for us, isn't it?
What have you watched?
I did watch a few. I finished Frasier, and I don't know why.
Why would you do that?
I think it's my OCD. When I start something, I gotta finish it. It really didn't. I was gonna say it didn't get much better, but you know, like when some of the old characters from the old TV show showed up on this iteration and they got to work together, it was pretty good. They could, you know, they definitely know what they're doing. They had fun. I could tell they were having fun, but this thing is getting a second season starting this month. I don't
really
understand. Yes, September 19th, the second season starts, and I'm like, I'm at a loss.
Don't watch it.
I'm at a loss. I did start, and I am caught up with all the episodes currently out of Bad Monkey on Apple Plus with Vince Vaughn.
Oh yes, I've seen trailers for that. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of it?
It's a kind of a fun whodunit.
Right.
I enjoy Vince Vaughn. He makes me chuckle.
He's fun.
He never fails to make me chuckle. And I did before that wrapped up Terminal List. I had wrapped that up, and that was a fun ride. If you're looking for like a little bit more of a brutal Black Ops covert James Bondsy kind of feel, Bourne kind of feel. It was a good time. I had a good time with that. I did enjoy it. I would recommend that. Bad Monkey, if you're a Vince Vaughn fan, I would recommend it. I'm not quite sure yet all the way through. Haven't finished it. Frasier, I would not recommend. I don't know why I finished it.
I don't either. I don't know what to tell you on that.
Sometimes I have the hardest time just backing out of things.
It's a little concerning.
Yeah, I'm concerned about myself. I hope the rest of you didn't watch something that you didn't truly enjoy. I hope the rest of you just tuned into things that you thought were 5 stars and amazing and some of your favorite things that you've ever seen. I hope you had 5-star reads. I hope you had an amazing, stress-free, wonderful week. Please hit us up in comments and let us know all about it. What have you been reading? I'm going to answer these comments as quickly as humanly possible because it's the whole reason we started and keep running this channel was to meet people and talk books the way we love books, the kind of books that we love. So I'm going to answer them right away and talk back and forth, and you let me know how your week went. And while you're down there, hey, that little thumbs up button, hit that for us. It helps us do everything, helps us grow, helps us find new people to talk books with and hang out. And while you're down there, if you're just checking out, maybe you haven't seen Weekly Reader before, you haven't stopped by the channel before, you maybe you've stopped by a couple times, but you haven't quite subscribed yet, hey, hit that button. It takes no time. at all. It allows you to hang out and talk books with us over and over again. And boop, it takes no time at all, like a microsecond. And it feels good.
It does feel
really
good.
Does. Some people say it feels so good, they say it tingles.
This sounds like false journalism to me.
No, they say it tingles to the point where they have coined a phrase and named themselves Team Tingle. Laugh if you will.
I will. I will laugh.
They are. Hey, look, people are saying, "Hey, Team Tingle here." Jacob has to admit it's real.
I don't.
You absolutely should. At this point, you're that crazy kid with your finger in the hole in the dike saying, "What are you holding back?" And you say, "I don't know. I don't believe in the ocean." This just looked like an
comparison.
This just looked like an inviting hole. I just wanted to, have my finger caught here.
So many quotes are happening right now.
You won't even recognize the majestic, huge ocean behind that dike. That is the tingle you're turning your back on.
I am. And I will stay turned.
It is so sad.
It is false advertising for us to say anything otherwise.
I have to just say, I feel like I've raised you wrong.
That's okay.
Well, thanks so much for joining us here on Weekly Reader, our funnest time of the week. Hope you had a frosty beverage. Hope you had a great time. We'll see you again next week. We'll see you through the videos this coming week. If you hung out with us, that means you're book people. And in my book, that makes you the best people. My name is John Minton, and that is...
Not Team Tingle.
Oh my gosh, you gotta come over.
I don't.
You gotta come over.
No one's forcing me. This is an empty room. There's no one in here.
I'm going to get people in there.
The only person that's around is Amanda watching The Office right over there, and she has no idea any of this is happening.
No one's forcing
I'm
sure she's on Team Tingle.
She wouldn't know what that is. She doesn't watch Talking Story.
You know what? I don't blame. I don't blame her. Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. This has been Talking Story.